3, 2, 1. Welcome, welcome. Have I set up my tags right? Talk to me. No. Okra and bitter melon. Sorry, there's someone's stream in the background. Some of this gaff around the place. I don't know if anyone's actually in here with me. Okay, I think that's working. I think that sounds good. Let me kill my background stuff. Frame motors that were running there. I don't think I'm going to have time for any of this now, so I'm just going to close everything. Just leave the stream open. If it starts annoying me, I'm going to turn it off. But okay, so welcome. First ever cooking stream. Terrible setup I've got here. Tiny kitchen. People don't need a big kitchen. Food. Now, speaking of good food, it may not be good food. I've never made this before, so let me talk you through it. The most controversial food items ever. First of all, the melon. Bitter. It's not really a melon, it's a vegetable. So what we're going to do is we're going to scrape out the inside of this, toss it out. Then my favourite way to eat this is a Vietnamese dish, which is stuffed pork inside the bitter melon, and it all cooks together. And it is just delish. I'm not going to make that for you today, though. One, because I don't have the recipe or the skills, but also because I don't know how. So, two bitter melons. So that's the first part of the controversial. I'm making me 3 items in it only. Well, 3 food items. Might use a few spices. Second item, very controversial vegetable also, the humble okra. Now, the fellow I bought these off at the shop up the road suggested a good option for okra is to not cut it, just cook it whole. It's often complained about because it gets slimy if you overcook it, but that's mostly the inside of it. So if you cook it whole, you don't have that issue. Very crunchy on the outside. It's a delightful vegetable. Third item, egg. That's it. Very simple. I found a recipe online. It's sort of a simple recipe, but really what I was interested with that recipe is that's sort of what I focus on today. So here's a fairly uninspiring Arco steel knife. And something else I need to show you. This is a family heirloom pot. It's been in my family for probably longer than I have. I've been around. This has been in my family since probably 1970s. One of the first items they got in Australia. As you can see, the colour's faded off it. Probably made of aluminium. Could well give me Alzheimer's, but I cooked many a meal on this. My father, beef curries, my brothers, my mother's probably bolognese sauce for lasagna in it. Also, so yeah, family heirloom pot. Basic. They were big in the 70s. These pots. You don't really see them around anymore. The bottom's warped. It's a bit hard. Age. Oh, I'm not sure if we bashed it with a hammer to try and flatten it back before. Certainly it's fairly pitted down there. So that's it. That's all I'm using. So I haven't gotten organised. I didn't want to go up late because I did promise an 8:30 stream. So I've gone up at 8:30 even though I'm not really ready. So I'll just get some things ready. And welcome Academy Impossible on Discord for streamers. Hopefully we'll get some more once things actually start happening around here. So I can start that. I wanted you to see the stove, of course. Having a tea which comes from a bag that looks very strange. From the Chinese restaurant in Palmerston. It's a sort of herby tea thing. Can't really show you it. See some of it stuck on the side there. Strange. It's strange, but quite good. What I really need is one of those little tea holder things. Light right in my face and you still. Okay, so bit of melon, okra. I'm not organised. It took me a while to get the computer set up. It's absolutely alarming. Anything could happen. Computers could fall in the sink. I'm on a cable network. The network cable's running across a pot plant. It is just mental right now. I'm not going to show you the setup because it's really quite disturbing and people might get upset. So, let's try and get some things together. I've actually got a whisk. A strange wooden spoon. And yes, I moved to this place. I've got some really dodgy little cutting boards. I haven't got a decent cutting board. Bench is pretty shagged, so what I'm probably going to use is this out of date laminated right from last year. As you can see, the big film. Oh, great movie. That's of course scheduled. So there's an idea they had for a while to laminate some of these that people can pop on. They're not going to get wrecked or whatever. A bit of a waste of money. Idea. I thought I may as well use one. Take it home. It's shiny. It's easy to clean. So yeah, I'm going to use that as my cutting board today. Really like to mix my eggs, separate my yolks and up. So that's, if you want to do this properly, please do that. Separate your yolks, mix your. I'm Paulina 1993. How are you? What are you up to tonight? I'll just go over again what I'm doing tonight. It is bitter melon, okra, and egg. 3-item dinner. Use rice or bread or things like that if you wanted to. Can you hear me okay? Please let me know if you can hear me okay. I'm turning that up. Check 2, check 2, check 2. I think that's better. So I was using a mic, but it didn't seem to be working. So I'm just using the internal now. Frames per second good, my kilobytes per second's good. Other computers on a different internet connection. So that's it's going to drain my phone internet though, and Australia, it's probably going to cost me a fortune, and I'll have to sell my liver to pay the. That's Australia for you. A shame. That can't be heard. I'm actually going to take a second to. Check, check, check. It's the first time I'm using a noise gate. But, check, 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 check. Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? Okay, that seems to be working all right. So, that, of course, that is slightly delayed. Keep reaching up for my mouse and my laptop there, but welcome Miss Lenity and Paulina93. Good to see you guys. Look, I really don't know what I'm doing with this dish. I must tell you that beforehand. Anything could happen. It could be absolutely terrible. Now, I showed you the main ingredient. I'm going to throw in. This could be risky. Sushi ginger. Garlic. And I'm going to cook it in anchovy oil. Because I'm not sure because I don't have any. I have garlic though. Tap around here, mate. So, butter. I don't seem to even have butter at the moment. It's tempting to just go to the shop and buy some oil. It's 8:46. The shop closes at 9:30. Get close. I say no butter. So I'm going to just cook it in water. That's really not all what I want. But salt. Little oil sachets. Balsamic vinegar is not something. Well, that's a sure sign that I haven't been cooking well. So the last few times I've cooked, I've just used, and it hasn't been many times since I place. I just used, I had some anchovies and I had the oil left in it. Perfect for cooking. Really, really quite yummy. Nothing wrong with that. Put oil. What do you reckon, chat? Should I go and get oil? I can do it. I can't believe I haven't even got butter in the fridge. Downright tragedy. And here, sink. I've just decided to give up drinking, so maybe I could cook it in alcohol. This. I've got a very controversial two items here I'm trying to cook. They're going to be strange anyway. Doing something weird with them is very, very risky. But I just remembered something. I had some marinade at my brother's house last night. Brought it home in some wine, which was no good for cooking. I brought it home for cooking. But oil floats in water or alcohol. So oil will be on top of this wine bottle if I don't shake it. So let's have a look at that. Sideways. See there is oil. There's not very much though. A lot more water than oil. So, okay, I'm just going to start some of that off. Mainly just to burn off some of that alcohol. I don't drink alcohol. That's what I've given up. This was Holic wine, a Shiraz. Not a bad wine, but my brother left it in his car for a day or two, so just not good to drink. Still good for cooking. Not quite vinegar yet. Once I pour that in, it just looks a little bit oily. It doesn't look very oily at all, which is pretty disappointing. Poured quite a generous amount in there because I'm not using it well. And I'm just going to cook that off. What I might do is doing something weird. I'm going to just use one of the bitter melons, probably a quarter of the okra, and I was going to do 6 eggs. I'll do 4 eggs, and that will give me. Well, obviously I won't add the eggs if it tastes no good. Okay, so here we go. Bitter melon. The secret is scoop out the middle. Guessing we cut the egg off. I haven't got compost set up yet either. Terrible. Okay. So while that's heating that wine, I'm going to actually just throw some. That needs to go on the list. So I was living at my brother's house for a while, and he had the most wonderful garlic press, and so I just felt no need to have a garlic press. His garlic press was so good, you would literally get a garlic like this. You just pull the outer dry bit off, throw it in there, and it would crush the garlic, squeeze it out, and just leave the skin, and you just throw the skin out. It was super easy to use. And you could just pile in garlic and just keep crushing it, crushing it. I'm peeling that. I really like garlic, so I'm probably going to use. Most people would use 1 or 2 cloves. I'll probably use 4. Nice strong garlic. And the main reason I'm going crazy with garlic is, one, it's good for you, and also I'm actually going to use about half a bunch. Yeah, the other half. And I've turned on the wrong hot plate. I don't know if you can see that steaming, but not getting hot, and here's the hot plate getting hot. I'm about to put my that there. Back one, start hearing it making noise, I'll move it. I've heated that up, I figure I may as well put something on it so I don't put my hand on it. And again, yesterday, normally, making a dish like this, you'd be drinking as you do it, of course. Mind you, having said that, using an unpalatable wine you don't want to drink, good way to not drink. That one's still pretty hot, so leave it on there for a bit just to get some of that heat. Yeah, so there's a bit of oil there. So the wine should boil off before the oil, so it shouldn't leave too much wine flavour in there. Oh, I forgot there's vinegar in there. Well, from the dressing, and it was garlic olive oil, so there's already a lot of garlic in there. Okay, maybe I won't go so crazy on the garlic. Um, Absolute hazard I've got set up here. Actually, it's funny because I have got a PowerPoint over here. What? Which I actually forgot about, to be honest. Hazardry. Yes, would also mean laptop cable's not running. I actually unplugged myself. Do that. But charges no longer hanging all over the sink. Good. That's the map. Route it a bit better. Uh, my Armoury crate's suggesting I turn off stuff that's using the GPU. The whole point of having a GPU. Nothing Armoury crate. Background. Why have I got a red light on? Okay, I'm still live. It's all good. All right, so right, where are we? I haven't set up any transitions on here. I really should do that. Let's Duplicate a scene. Duplicate, there it is. Okay, so now I can do like just trying to set up a nice transition. Let's try this. Hey, yeah, that sucks. Let's that. Oops, that's the wrong keyboard. Oh yeah, that kind of sucks. But anyway, kind of makes you feel like you're having a bad dream or something. Okay, so it's back on show getting hot. Front one is pedal's really in the way. I should dish over here. So instead of using that ridiculous amount of garlic, because it is garlic oil, albeit not very much of it, I'm going to just use 4 cloves, fairly big cloves. I'm only going to use 4 of them, which for me is a very, very low amount. Tendency to set off smoke alarms, so I'm just getting this properly. Quiet enough. I'm just going to leave that on because the regions. Okay, 4th clove of garlic here, just peeling it. So I'm cooking on electric, so it's really slow. I haven't turned it up to max. I've just turned it up to that. Okay, now I've turned it on to 2/3. Had it on max. It just heat it up quickly, but I don't want to deal with that getting too hot and then cooling it down business. So I've just turned it down. So garlic's peeled. I just crush it first. When I say crush it, I hit it with a knife like this. Flattens it, bruises it, gets a bit of the flavours going. And I'm not too precious, so I'm not going to cut it up super small. I'm not going to cut across the grain or anything. I don't mind eating chunks of garlic now. Most people do. So if it made, I'd probably cut that a lot more. They're big. Straight into that wine oil mix. It's just sort of beginning to boil off the alcohol now. Put over the side. I'm going to cook one of those. That many? 7. Okay. And I think I'll just cut the top off them. Just because you don't eat the top. So what you can do is eat the bottom and not eat the top. I cook the whole thing and just cut off a bit and throw it out. But save me having Hold on. I'm going to add some cheese. Which, of course, you can use oil. Anyway, this smells great. I'm going to try this out. It's crazy. Get that. So, I think about a melon and a half. So, it has these seeds in it. You're supposed to scoop them out. Wow, that's a very strong smelling vegetable. It sort of smells like onion. Hard to describe. I'm left with that scooped out the inside. That's quite a bit here as well. Comes out very easily. Inside, way even easier than eggplant. Eggplants can be a bit of an effort. I've got no idea how to even tell if these are ripe or not, too. Okay, so there we have it. Just going to give them a wash just in case they were covered in something weird. Oh, and I also forgot I was going to cook less eggs, wasn't I? 2 eggs away. Freezer to get cold. Like a soda stream has frozen. More tea. Okay. Bubbling away nicely. Yeah, there's not a lot of oil in there. Good. Okay, let's see what happens. So what I'm going to do. Wow, that's hard to cut. That ain't fairly chunky like that. Now the issue I'm thinking of right now is for the egg to go. Crikey. Quite a sound in there. That's the pot lid resonating when I cut down on the bench with the slow cutting board. Really happy about that bubbles stuff a little. On about 3/4 now. And I'm making an assumption this will take longer to cook. Of course, it's unpalatable if you cook it. I'm just cutting off literally just the top. Bottom's totally fine to eat. People sometimes cut the Really employ to minimise sliminess. Not that I mind a bit of sliminess in a yummy meal. Okra smells very nice, very fresh. They smell similar as far as vegetables. It's a sharper smell on the bitter melon insides. Okay, so ginger. Here's the ginger. This ginger I've had for a very long time. Years, in fact. Maybe I haven't had it that long. It's best before 2022. So. And there's a beautiful click when I open it. There's nothing untoward on the lid. Plastic seal's intact. And this is the ginger that you can eat raw in tissue. I just threw like a teaspoon and a half in. Trying not to get the liquid in there, but I got a bit in. So. Oh yeah, that's pretty strong. That was probably a terrible mistake. Uh, 10 out of 10. Don't put ginger in this dish. Do not. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a bit of a taste of that marinade with my. See how it's going. Wow, that does taste good. It reminds me of the sort of marinade you could do lamb in. A basic olive oil, balsamic vinegar, garlic. Mandarin, another TV viewer, welcome back. Always good to see you guys. Okra, bitter melon. I haven't got a second camera set up. That's a bit unfortunate. Let me lift it up. Burning myself to death. Of course, the liquid falls, but that's really hard to see. So at the moment, it's just got bitter melon in there. Bitter melon, garlic, and ginger, which I'm regretting, and I think was a huge mistake. Let's see what happens. Tiny bit of it. That is so bitter. That is absolutely terrible. But you know what they say? Bitter food is good for you. Okay, so I've got the super bitter meal right now. It needs a bit more cooking, of course. It does bring back memories. So in Vietnam, the dish which some of my friends there would cook was pork stuffed in bitter melon, and just great flavour. That the sharp bitterness with the sort of sweet pork. And I'm actually thinking I may add some this, which is taking away a little bit of that super healthiness of it. This marinade I made yesterday had honey in it, but not very much, very little honey. And considering that what I bottles red wine, leftover marinade on top of it, probably not very much honey at all. I'm going to add add 2 things. Trying to not overcomplicate. I'm going to add not a hell of a lot, about 2 teaspoons. Asian curry powder. Now, any curry powder would do. About 3 teaspoons of that in there. So I'm sort of making a curried egg type dish. Curried egg and bitter melon and okra. Now I can tell by smell I've probably added at least double what I should have added, particularly that Malaysian curry powder. Belying the way I look, I don't like food that hot. So this could be a struggle, and you may be hearing my regret before long. But as why am I having a blank on her name? French cabaret singer. Paulina Eslanti, do you know? Commander Root. Tell me the French. No regretrium sings no regretrium. Edith Piaf. Edith Piaf says no regrets. No regretrium, she said. French. Okay, so I'm happy with that level of cookedness. I'm not happy with that level of wetness. And the more I look at this, I'm not happy with that size of okra. I don't think either. Let's match the size of the bitter melon. They look like that. They're fairly big okra. Of course, the secret with okra is don't overcook it. Basically, going to put it in there, stir it round. Possibly a bit of a low heat for what I'm trying to do. I'm just going to apply a bit of that. That's again my spring garlic, ginger. Yeah, so that's pretty strong and not flavoursome. So I'm going to do the old classic cheat of adding some sugar, and I'm probably not going to add salt until after. Now you can use any sugar. I'm using this vanilla. You should use decent sugar. This is a evaporated organic cane juice. I've just been given it. I would just buy normal brown sugar normally, which is as unrefined as can be. I put about 2 teaspoons of that in there. But I'll stir that through straight away and just see if it's... Just tone that down a bit. Quite nice in there. A nice purple, which you really can't see in the light. I'm going to have to plate it and show you, I think. So really I'm just warming that through, just to get that okra not overcooked. Now I've got too much more liquid in there than I like. Oh, hang on, let me taste it again. It's still bitter, quite bitter, but that sugar has just toned it down a bit. I think that's going to work, and the egg will tone it down further. It's a very green meal. It'd be nice if I had some red capsicums just to like add a bit of red to it, red and green. Okay, now, as I said earlier, I should separate the eggs, whisk it to soft peaks, add the yolks, and I'll get a really fluffy, light, beautiful egg. That's what I should do. If any of you were here with me and I was cooking it for you, that's what I'd do. But you're not, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to throw an egg in, throw in some cheese, mix it all up. It's going to just be sort of a bit gluggy, messy, looking like a scrambled egg. And I'm going to get cheese. I'm going to throw cheese. I have got bacon and ham in there, but I think I just want to try it, just tasting the meat at this stage. I think next time I do it, I could potentially, just depending on how this goes, add ham or something. Okay, get that cheese ready. Back of the knife. These are free range eggs. They can sometimes have pretty soft shells. Make a mess. This is one I dropped earlier. The sink. So 4 eggs, probably a light amount of eggs for the amount of other stuff in there. It's probably going to be 3 meals for me. So I've just cracked it in. I'm just stirring it through. And I'm going to just stir the cheese through at the same time because I'm not really wanting egg to cook much. I'm not wanting the cheese to cook much either. I've probably gone about almost a cup of cheese. I really like cheese. You probably wouldn't put that much. A normal person probably wouldn't. So let's go through that again. Cheese. In order. I'm not going to talk about the weird stuff like red wine. So what you really should use is a bit of oil, bit of melon. After you've scooped out the inside, cut up small, stirred through the oil. Once it's softened a bit, add the okra. Don't cook the okra for very long. I've just put too much cheese in there, I can tell straight away. Pretty much everything I've put in here, I've put too much of. These away. That is a very strange looking dish right now. Bitter melon almost looks like chunks of meat. That's not really hardening up for me. So I'm going to just crank that heat to max. That was pretty good. Egg and red wine, pretty disturbing colour-wise, really. It's quite purple. Happy about that, but bully. Feel free to watch the Bob, work out why I used red wine. Absolute madness cooking dish for the first time, doing weird stuff to it. Them's breaks, and for me, get to be as controversial as I like. So, there's some okra because that's what I'm most concerned about. Its fork's gone through it pretty nicely. Put the tie in the pocket. It's a bit drippy. I don't like that drippiness. We're just dripping cheese and egg. Chocolate's just cooked to perfection. Absolutely perfect. So you saw how long that was. That was probably, I reckon that okra would have been lucky to be in there 5 minutes. But when people say they hate okra, they cooked it for longer than that. Because that, it's crunchy and it's not yet slimy. That's how you want okra. Okay, the real test, bitter melon. It's pretty bitter. It's absorbed that red wine flavour. It's palatable. It's bitter, but it's palatable. So there you go. The 2 teaspoons of sugar. I can't really taste. It doesn't taste sweet, but it's toned down the bitterness a bit. So I'm happy with that. And how it looks, I'm not really happy about that. I'll plate it up and show you guys. Fire off. These plates have also been in my family for many years. Very few left. They break quite easily. They've been out bush with me. They've travelled around. I've only got about 3 left. Yes. Maybe, if you're on the antique roadshow, they're probably worth $20,000 each or something. There's the name on them. Glamour, J&G Meakin, England, Celeste. Glamorous. Even a nice rust stain there. Hopefully, end up eating that. So, now that I've gone over the plate in such detail, maybe it's not, but yeah, I think it'll get definitely two meals. Maybe cheese is going to make it pretty heavy. I could have used milk that I don't have at the moment, but milk could have also added a bit. Also, yeah, it looks pretty terrible, but tastes good. That just looks like beef or something. It's because the red wine has made the egg go brown. You can see the okra. You can see the various things there. Welcome, Demon Kitty. Um, the okra makes it. It's considering that the dish I found online was just egg and bitter melon. The red wine's obviously messed with things a bit. Um, I don't mind it. So what I'll do is, in a few days, I might do this dish again. Same ingredients, except I'll use oil instead of the weird red wine thing I used. It'll mean the egg will look yellow, white, which will probably look much nicer. But taste-wise, good. How long have I been streaming? Oh yeah, 54 minutes. Gosh, it did actually go up on time. 2 minutes late. But first cooking stream. Okra one's cooked right. Very satisfying. Very crunchy. Cooked wrong, slimy. People hate it. People who've had it slimy often won't ever eat it again. I'm going to move the sprinkler. Be right back. There's no. So yeah, you do need to sprinkle a bit, or your grass just goes brown and dies. So not a lot of harm for getting the sprinkler. Don't know about this tea. Not sure how I feel about it. Good, but I just don't know about eating the leaves. Need to get one of those strainer things. Yeah, so that's not a bad little meal at all. You could have it on rice or bread if you wanted to make it go further. Uh-oh, have I frozen? No, no, no. No, I'm back live. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Um, melon, okra, egg. Yeah, quite good. A bit precarious where I've got the laptop at the moment. Um, really sit down and eat. Hang on, what about if I? Oh no, if I lower the camera. Okay. Yeah. And even set off the smoke alarm. Plus, having that little fan there probably helps a bit. Doors open. Also, check, check, check. Yeah, I think that noise gate's working. Logistic llama for that suggestion of using noise gate. Cut down on my bit of fan noise and hearing all the fans around the house as well. Doesn't drive me wild, the bitter melon, to be honest, the flavour. Funny, when it's wrapped in the I had it in Vietnam where it's stuffed with pork. Yeah, that's beautiful. That juxtaposition of the pork and the bitter melon really works. This is good. Just doesn't blow my mind. Maybe I'll put bacon in it next. Be fun. First thing about streaming for me is I want to sing all the time, and I just can't because of the MCA. Anyone knows a way, set it up so you can stuff without having to pay the MCA, but paying the appropriate license fee. Please whisper me. Well, consider it's 9:30 at night, end of peak time here in Darwin. Happy with the way it is to have run. Please give me feedback if you have anything you'd like to tell me about how it looks out there. Just chatting, that's the wrong category, isn't it? Supposed to be food and drink. The wrong keyboard again. They just chat. I sort of am just chatting. I have chatted a lot. Trying to get used to here. So, what did I say? Did I say I was going to stream 3 hours? Maximised. Is report myself. That's not all. I'm to go. Pretty sure I selected 2 hours. Now been an hour and 6 minutes. The bitter food's supposed to be good for weight loss. So that's one of the reasons to eat bitter melon. Feel free to join me in Discord if you want. Prefer to chat rather than type. Uncle work. Doesn't, let me know. Might have gotten old, that link. Really doesn't appear to be working. Gordon chat. Yeah, so there you go. Okra, egg, and a melon. And cheese. I added cheese. Cheese probably brought that bitterness back a bit more too. As I said, I was making it for some of you guys. It would probably take a bit more effort to separate the eggs. Get the whites nice and fluffy, then add the yolks. Then stir that through. Get a more fuller, airy food dish. I think would be nicer to look at and to eat. It isn't bad. A bit clumpy and heavy. I mean that I made that in. I mean, it took me a bit of time messing around to set everything up, but I don't know, 30 minutes, 20 minutes. Uncle okra though. Done. Really relax. What here? Oh, hang on, let's do the same change. Do it again. Wow. Special effects, man. Awesome. One more time. You check two. Okay, let's do a lot less noise getting into the mic. Okay, so what should I do? Should I bring my bass out here and practice some bass? Am I going to get the MC8 if I don't anything? If I just play bass lines? Probably will. I suppose I could just play scales or something. Play notes, just practice my well, doesn't the computer. People in the stream, is my camera working okay? Can you let me this connection speed on this broadband is just absolutely atrocious. 250 kilo. Fortunately, I can't stream on that laptop. I'm able to download it faster, but it would potentially kill this. There you go. Interesting day today. I had some students being a bit homophobic. And I just gave it to them. Told them, the country we live in, the school you go to, don't put up with racism, sexism, homophobia. Not on. Take it. Won't tolerate it. Teenage boys largely, they kind of laughed about it a bit, but I'm hoping it's pretty awful for some of the people they're picking on. Very fragile. I don't want to coming to harm because they're being illegal. Moment felt I didn't lose control. I got a bit angry, but I was in control. But it's pleasant to sort of raise your voice at people. They've got to know. But on. So yeah, so that was my day. Not a bad day apart from that. I have no motorbike at the moment. I got a lift to work, and then I rode home on a bicycle. No one has these orange bicycles by the Huron Company. Scooters in the inner city. Bicycles go way up suburbs. I rode about 10, I think, eight hours. My legs are a little bit sore, but because it is electric assisted, you're not really working as hard as you would up that assisted. But I do like to pedal pretty hard when I'm on a bit of exercise. But it just allows you to get around at 25 k's an hour without too much effort. That's my mouth. Where is my mouth? Where is my mouth? Where is my mouth? Okay, hopefully that's not long enough to DMCA. That is, of course, a bastardisation of Where's My Mind. Please pick it up from all good music sellers online, YouTube, etc. Pay money, buy that track. I love it. Yeah, it looks a bit messy here. That's just the plastic bag. Vegetables. That's gone. That is the plastic from the. So let's have a look at the leftovers now. I'm guessing they're not going to look too crush hot. Oil separated a bit. Pretty chunky there. That cheese is going to harden up. Quite a sticky mess, really. So what I'll do is I'll got a conference tomorrow, a meeting tomorrow online. So I'll have my lunch here ready. What I'll probably do, if we've got a half-hour break, I might take it up the road or to the shop where I bought the vegetables from, and they're probably going to turn their nose up at it because it's very not traditional. Certainly not the way they'd make it in Vietnam. But I want them to try what I came up with because it isn't terrible. I'm just going to do this little container here. And I made donkey once. I had a butcher actually. Oh, can't see me. I had a butcher actually cryovac some donkey for me. Donkey which had been slaughtered for pet meat, and I just thought it looked good, so I thought I'd try cooking it up. Cooked it up with. This was when I was really into cooking back around 2008, 2009. And yeah, I did it look with paneer and stuff, and it was good. But interesting, donkeys are very smelly meat. I'm into gamey meats, lamb, magpie goose, duck, emu, camel. Love them. But donkey takes the cake. Donkey is probably, kangaroo is pretty smelly too. It's very smelly meat, but cooked up okay. And held a curry flavour as well. And it was good. But I took some to the butcher and I took him a big container. That's where I learned, just take a little container, especially when you make something a bit controversial like this. This guy's a butcher, so he like cuts up cows for a living. Generally, he's working with cows. He doesn't really work with animals like donkeys. He was quite confronted by it, and he just couldn't eat it. He confessed to me later that he just couldn't come at eating donkeys, the Jesus donkeys they called them in Palkeringia because they were donkeys with a white cross on their back. They used to wander around and sort of considered sacred. Yeah, no one really looked after them. They just wandered around and ate whatever they could find. It was a sad sort of life, really. Check the other compostables. I have got a garden out there. Sort of dig a hole and bury it. Leave it for a bit and make compost. But if I do that, I'll have to clear off all the sort of dead leftover old veggie garden that used to be there. I'll just think about if I actually go to that effort of doing that. If I don't, I'll bin it. And if I do, I will. So let's see if I can fill it. If I put work. Yeah, it wasn't a huge amount of food, but I'm trying not to overeat. Oh, it's dropped on the lid. That's a good landing. So yeah, that's about. It's probably more than I had tonight. I think it's a daytime meal. I'm okay with that. A lot more than that. I'm tempted to give it. Oh, yeah. So just scraping the spoon. A little bit crunchy from getting cooked on the side of the pan. I used to date a girl who loved cooking her egg. It was crunchy like popcorn. Scrambled egg. Very strange. Not bad though. I prefer mine a bit wet. Or a combination. I don't mind it crunchy on the outside, soft on the inside. But not all cooked crunchy. That's a bit much. Bacon, on the other hand. That's good. I've probably got a little bit more food just from scraping around the edges, and that's really beautiful. That's a crunchy cheese thing. I mean, I could just wash the pan and throw it all away. Why would you do that? And look at that. That is caramelized cheese. Caramelized cheese and egg. So yeah, I eat animal, but I really do not like when I eat animal, not waste food. Provide to provide you food. It's not that this is animal, is it? Oh, it's cheese. There you go. That's a big meal. That's a very small meal. I hope they don't like really love it and want more. I suppose I can always just take them some. Maybe I'll go up there early in the morning and have coffee. Give them that, and if they would just love it, I can take them some more and have a small lunch myself. I think they might. I don't know. It's hard to think what their palates would be used to. The Vietnamese cuisine tends not to be as curry, and they certainly don't cook with red wine. With red wine may well mess. Soak that. It's coming off pretty easy, really. As I said, I've got two laptops around here, so I don't really want to splash too much water around. The noise gate, I think the noise gate isn't picking up the water, which is interesting. It might be picking up the water when I talk. But yeah, thanks so much, Logistic Llama, for that tip to use the noise. I think it's doing the trick. Where are we at now? Crikey, 1 hour, really? 1 hour and 20? Time fly when you're eating. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Really made that a bit fun. I'm not a huge fan of cooking for fun. I haven't done it for a while, so nice to have company. Be a strong, silent type of company. The transition. Another one. Hey, okay, tired of the pocket. What else? Yeah, I wonder. Wow, did you pick up the noise of that drinking? I'm loving it. I'm always going to cook with this bench now so that when I cut stuff, that noise, and when I move stuff, I get that noise. What's not to love about it? Okay, that sprinkler's been there about half an hour, so I'm going to move that. An interesting little scent through the house right now. Has anyone joined Discord? I see no one. Where are we at? 30 minutes to go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put this meeting tomorrow. I've got some really be looking over what we're talking about. Go to sleep early. Get up early. Like, right, well, you know what I might do? Move this other laptop. Adding while the warships on my mobile phone into really slowly. Literally taking forever. Be safe. Falling in the sink when I start washing. Now, I'm sure you don't really want to see me washing. What I'm going to the noise gate stops the washing noises. I think it stopped the water noise. I'm tired after coming after a day at work, and I was up, at work pretty late, finishing off reports. So, what did I decide I was going to do? This put the water in it. Let's go back to tea. I'm going to forget about this, and in 3 days I'm going to go, what is it? Watch. That thing that looks like an air bubble? That's an ice block. Oh, there is an air bubble as well as an ice block. About the same size. Yeah, I might not put the machine quite yet. Let's leave it in the fridge a bit more. I don't want to leave it out because it's Darwin. In like 5 minutes. Let it thaw a bit in the fridge. It'll take a long time, but it'll hold. Oh, what? Maybe I should just go on soda stream. Yeah, look, that ice is gone after being out of the fridge 30 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to go to use the soda stream now. Put it in the shed because it keeps ejaculating everywhere. Something's wrong with the soda stream. I got for, I think it was $20 from a second-hand shop. Now, listen out. You might hear the explosive noises from outside, or the noise gate might catch it. Play some free music for you. Let's see if I can. There was some nice royalty free music that belonged to some streamers. A streaming couple they were actually. I really liked their stuff. But let's see if I bookmark them. Lo-fi hip hop study, Cozy Winter. That's a good one. Got the URL because the URL's got who's what and stuff. What? This may not be loud enough. That's the URL for this royalty-free music I'm playing. But by all means, please check it out. Check out the playlist. Right now, it is on the 59-minute mark. So if you sort of time it from now, it is right now you're listening to Basu and Spencer Hunt Blanket. Coming up in 2 minutes is Cane Beats and Snug Formless. So yeah, the list is all there. Actually, I'm going to post that as well. So I've started at 59. I'm only going to be a few. Showing you. So you actually can't hear it all. Tried it in next. Set. There you go. And all I have to do is just mute that when I get back. Okay, so I'm going to go attempt the soda stream. See if I get covered in soda water. Back in 5. Crikey, that was just that was something else. So there's no bubbles in that. It tastes a little bit bubbly. So it didn't shoot everywhere. It's just run out. But there you go. I guess you get what you pay for to an extent. $20 second-hand soda stream. I think they're about $80 new. So that tastes like flat soda water. Admittedly better than the water here tastes normally. But what have I done to it? Why? I think I've just degassed it with carbon dioxide. Like that. Overwhelming. I guess it's the bicycle trip, you know, because I do a bicycle trip like that about once every 2 weeks. I do a lot of shorter trips on the orange bicycles, just between the city and Mudmiller, only about 5Ks. So yeah, I am really feeling it. My legs are sore as, so I'm glad I'm work from home tomorrow. Pick up, I think. Blood flowing. Alright, so we haven't quite made 2 hours. I want to do some bass practice. I don't particularly want to... Okay, so I can stream it, but I'm not allowed to have VOBs of it. And because I'm kind of trying to grow my channel, the VOBs are kind of important to me, so I'm a bit torn about that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to close down, but only close down for about 10 minutes. I'm going to go and change positions. That way I get to restart the stream. It's a separate stream, etc. And that way it's easy enough to leave this VOB up and take the other one down. But you can get to see me practice some bass for at least 10-15 minutes. Hopefully I won't upset the neighbours. I'll try to keep it down to a low enough level. It's not, hopefully. I don't think they've gone to sleep yet. Yeah, just give me 10 minutes max, and I will be back. Don't go anywhere. Well, go anywhere, but yeah, keep me tabbed and join me back in a bit.